Hi, John Parrillo here. Today we're going to go over hamstring stretches. We have Nate here, who used to be actually very good at karate, won a whole bunch of stuff. And then he hasn't done it in a whole lot of years and put on a lot of weight, and he's a little on the tight side. So we're going to go over hamstring stretches. So show us how you stretch your hamstring there. Here's what most people do. They throw their leg up on something, and you notice now he's stretching his hamstring, but look at how his hips are cocked. Okay, now to stretch his hamstring, he's actually most of the stretch is coming in the hips here. To properly stretch his hamstring, we actually got to lower this way down the bottom here. Put your hand up there. Okay, now notice, we brought this over, now we straightened his hips out. He can lock his knee. That just really hurts, doesn't it? Huh? Now arch your back, and that puts all the stretch right on the hamstring. Most people just throw the hip up there. That's what you don't want to do. Go ahead, let that hurt.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough if you do it right, but we put it a lot higher and he can get that hip up, and that's what everybody does, okay? Same thing, let's put him on the floor and show the same thing if we're stretching him on the floor. Lie down, okay? This way is fine. So notice we go to stretch the hamstring, that hip wants to come up, okay? So now if we push down and then stretch, you feel that? Yeah? All right, we don't let the hip rise up. Now we can also stretch the hamstring if we let this stretch and then we push up, we're stretching the hamstring up in this direction, okay? If we lock this out and then push up, we're stretching the hamstring more in the back of the knee. And notice when we hold, if we let that hip come up, we can get that leg pretty far up there. If we push his hip down, and there's a pressure point on here, if you push on that, you can do it, but usually you've got to be quite a bit bigger than the guy to do it. But if we push the hip down when we come up, see, that's about all the flexibility he has. How's that feel? And you don't want to stretch out to the side. You want to keep in line with the body here. Yeah, huh? That bring back all those karate days of stretching? Yeah? All right, good. Here's another way. Sit up, and we'll show you how to do this. Sit up. Now, we're going to push him forward to stretch his hamstrings. Lock your knees, okay? Now, I'm not pushing down on his back. I'm pushing my belly into his lower back. So, I'm stretching there. Okay, now grab your feet. Your ankles, grab your feet, top of your shoes. Now pull and arch your back and pull. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good one. Yeah. It's coming back to you. Here's the thing. Go ahead and grab your ankles. Or when you get flexible enough, you grab it. Bend your knees. Grab the tops of your feet. Now straighten your knees out. There. Now arch your back. This is a good thing. You can put a towel or a rope around your feet if you're not loose enough, okay? And you can do two things when you stretch like this. When you pull against either if you're flexible enough to grab your shoes, or if you can grab your rope or your towel and then arch your back, you're doing two things. You're stretching your hamstrings and you're strengthening your lower back at the same time, which a lot of times is where most of your stretch comes from. So that's good for people with bad lower backs, because it does one thing. It does two things. It stretches the hamstrings and it strengthens the lower back at the same time. So there's some exercise, and then you can go wide to the sides. Go ahead and go wide out to the sides. Okay, same thing. We can get over here and we can help him stretch over to this. Now notice I'm pushing against his lower back here. I'm not pushing him down. Okay, stretch over that side. And then we can stretch over to this side too. Go ahead, come on, grab your foot. Come on, Nate. You used to be one of the most flexible guys around. Yeah! Look up at the camera and smile. How's that? Yeah. All right. So there's some things you can do to stretch your hamstrings, but to really stretch them, you got to make it hurt, and you got to stretch the hamstrings, and you got to make sure you're not just turning your hips. You got to learn to put your lower back into it, so you
square everything off.
So yeah, you square everything off and you put the stretch in the hamstrings and not your hips and lower back. And be sure to visit us at www.parrillo.com, and we got a whole bunch of videos out there. We got a lot of great products, but we hope this can help you get some nice flexible hamstrings.